Is it not working? As soon as I got started work, just gonna throw that out there. Anyway, stop moving. Anyway, we got raptor work to do. We got raptor work to do. So we want to do probably 2 more on this, maybe. See how it goes. Um. Oh, I need to full screen this. My bad. My mistake. Let's hide that stop button. Not a huge deal, but let's hide it anyway. So we're on that color. All right, let's find this color real quick. But it's been roughly a week since we got to stream this last. So we'll keep that in mind when we're not doing so good here. Why is my phone going off? I don't remember saying it could do that. Anyway, some updates since the last art stream. First off, I guess there was an update to Discord, and my hotkeys didn't work. So I checked. It seems like every time I think I was muted worked, but my disconnect button didn't work. Different stream deck. I have one over there to the left. But for some reason they didn't work on Discord, so I'm like yapping at myself at certain points, or not yapping at myself when I'm supposed to be. Anyway, that's embarrassing. But I believe we've talked about the watch going in for service. Should be here tomorrow, which will be nice. Probably won't be here in time for the stream, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. We're ready. Hopefully, it doesn't look bad. It's going to be the watch of Theseus, I guess, because unfortunately they allegedly had to change the dial. I don't know why. It was just the 4-hour marker that came off. I would have thought that that's fine. Like, you know what I mean? You can just solder it back on. Because, like, when I looked at it, it just kind of looked like the feet fell out and they weren't soldered in or anything. I mean, all I can think is the solder would have maybe ruined the paint on the face by getting too hot. But I feel like you could have just glued it and it would have probably been fine. I don't know. I did ask them if they would let me have the old dial. They said no. That kind of sucks. But now it's been serviced once, where I believe they replaced something inside. I don't remember what part. It might have been full movement. I don't know. It might be cheaper to just replace the whole movement. I'm not sure. But at least one other part's been replaced now. The dial's been replaced. Which sucks. I would prefer it to have been as original as possible. But like I said, been replaced. At a certain point, everything's gonna have been replaced. So, will it even be the watch I bought? Probably not. I think they also polished it last time, which is why this time I took the bracelet off, because they polished the bracelet. And first off, I didn't want them to polish any of it in the first place, but I sent them a note this time saying, please do not polish. We'll see how that goes. But I didn't send the bracelet. It could prove to be a mistake, because if they polish the rest, like the head of the watch and not the bracelet, it'll probably look a little weird. But the problem with polishing a bracelet is it tends to fuck with the links. And hold on, actually, I'll just grab the bracelets right here. So you can kind of see gaps. These weren't really here before they polished it. It didn't really like hang like this before they polished it. It was pretty rigid, pretty sturdy. It is noticeably smaller since they polished it, because it's like slightly closer together, but also slightly further apart, if that makes sense. I wish they hadn't done it. You can also see like some of them have like a little flatter spots on them. Do I have an example of like an old watch? I do, but we're not getting it out. Um, but yeah, it basically it 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 somehow stretches it out. Well, not somehow. There's less material, so it stretches it out in that the pieces don't fit together as well. And then there's less material, so it's like certain areas are closer. Therefore, you lose like the distance of them. It's, I guess it. How do I explain that? I guess it's technically bigger all around, but like this because of the loss of like the sturdiness, the size is just different depending on whatever it is that like, however it is you're wearing it. It could end up feeling bigger and looser because of that. Um, in my case, it felt a little smaller because I believe they like I don't know. I guess like polished. I don't know how they did it actually thinking about it. Maybe I just gained weight. It doesn't really make sense. I mean, maybe I did gain. I will say I almost certainly have gained weight, but every other watch band, I actually have been shrinking. I used to be pretty much strictly on like the third one down, and most of them I'm having to switch to two, or some even one. So I don't know. I'm losing it. You know what? In theory, it could be that it's been hotter and hotter and hotter, and the metal has expanded and therefore feels smaller. That could actually just be it. What color am I on? I'm on the right color. Okay. But yeah, the watch should hopefully be here tomorrow. It probably won't be here in time for a stream so we can like go over it together. So I'll probably show it next Saturday, I guess. We're ready for it. My big concern with it is since they have to have replaced the dial, which sucks. The loom is going to be a different color than the hands. So, fuck. Hold on. Okay, I happen to have picked just about the worst watch I could have to show this. But the watch I was wearing doesn't have loom. This is a Timex my grandmother gave to me like 20 years ago or something. I don't know. I think it's like brass that's plated in not gold, but something that's gold colored. I don't know. I mean, the back of it's steel, so maybe it's steel coated in something gold. Anyway, this has like an electroplate in the thing, and you press in the crown. They call it Indiglo. No loom. This watch has loom. Probably a terrible choice because it doesn't quite have loom in all the spots. Hopefully this black light shows. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So this one has orange loom. Um, Basically, this one was patinaed. It came that way. It was supposed to look like a new watch or an old watch. Sorry, an old vintage watch. I think is this limited? This might be limited. I don't know. Who cares? Anyway, trying to make sure anything that's glowing right now is the loom, right? Um, so this one is orange by default, but the other one was like a bluish kind of color, like a bluish white. This one's orange. That one was turning orange adjacent. Like it was turning cream is usually what people would say. So was the dial. The dial was originally like just bright white. It was turning a cream color. But what'll happen is the hands, let's say I replace this dial with a brand new dial. Let's say this was really vintage and it had like this nice tropical look to it. Sorry, I keep having to clear my throat, and I figure you guys don't want to hear that. Anyway, it's a nice vintage watch, and let me bring it closer. You replace the dial, but not the hands, and so the dial is like the bright blue color, but the hands maintain the orange. It's gonna look funny. That's the point I was trying to make, right? The loom is gonna be a different color on the hands versus the dial because the hands will have the original loom, which is older and has seen a lot of sunlight and therefore has been bleached by the sun and corroded by the sun and oxidization. The dial is going to be brand new, so it's going to have like that slight cream color to the hands. The hands paint is going to be a different color. I think they were blued hands anyway. Actually, no, they were blue paint. They were painted. I think maybe enamel. I don't really know. God, this thing smells so good. Anyway, so blue. The new one's gonna be like bright blue, and the old one's gonna probably be like a darker color. And then the hands, like the blue probably isn't gonna match the hour markers on that. So like for this one, fuck, this one has painted on hour markers for the most part. And or steel. All right, let's take the orange on this for example. The orange on this little seconds hand is probably going to be pretty different if I wear this a lot, like as much as the other one, than the orange here. Consider replacing one of them then, and it's going to be even more different, right? It's just like the age of the thing is going to be really affected. Also, I think that black light needs batteries. All right, that's away for now. Sorry. We got distracted. Fuck. Sorry about the distraction. Anyway, that's my big concern there. It's gonna be just kind of unpleasant to look at because it's gonna. I feel like at a glance, people probably wouldn't notice, and it's not like I got it for other people to notice, so this doesn't matter. But the thing is, I will notice because it's gonna be on my wrist. And I'm gonna be looking at it, and that's what matters to me because I care. I liked it. I like that it was like kind of aging with me in a way, right? And so now it's going to have like, I don't know, I guess like a facelift, but like we didn't get the crow's feet, you know what I mean? So it's like it's just not gonna look right, and I feel like it's gonna kind of suck, and I'm kind of sad about that. Hopefully it's not as bad as I'm thinking it'll be. If I'm lucky, whoever fixed it was like, okay, so I'm putting this on a watch with some patina. Let me go ahead and maybe make a new dial and match it or something. I doubt it, but that would honestly be huge. I'm gonna move this if I can. That was a lot of unnecessary exposition, wasn't it? Okay. I feel like that's probably enough. I don't know. Maybe I should go down to the tail, but what do we think? Buck 'em. Okay. So we want to maybe make this little hand thing. I don't think that's her, is it? Should I give her a muzzle? Okay. Let's go here. Switch to this. Hello? There we go. Skeleton. Raptor skeleton. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. We're gonna take the hand out of this, I think. I don't know that we need the whole thing. Pretty cool little design. I don't... What is Redbubble? Sounds like a porn site. Okay. Where would we say she's got it? Under the breast, kind of like... Maybe here-ish. I feel like that's a little bit of a weird spot. I think I'll maybe put it like here. No, it's not looking right, I don't think. I'm gonna keep going because I don't feel like I have an option right now. Can I rotate this image? No, no, no. Don't open in this. Wait, actually, hold on. Can I rotate it? I don't really want to download it. I just want to rotate it to look at it while it's rotated. Okay. Okay. How much hand does she got? Is there, I mean, I was gonna ask, is there a lore reason why she's got like a fucking bone tattoo on her hand? Or on her like chest or whatever the fuck that is, belly? I don't know. But then I was like, I don't fucking care. I mean, no offense to this person. I'm drawing them because I saw a clip of them saying that I think like if they were a dino, they'd be a raptor. And so here you go. I'm making you a raptor. I don't watch their content. I don't really know who this person is. I said this I think last time. I should actually really start vetting just in case like I'm starting to draw like scumbags. I'm not saying this person is that. I don't, like I said, I don't know them. I'm sure they're great. But like I should probably make sure that we're not. I'm gonna draw it like kind of broken. Good enough for me. I don't like Adobe. It bothers me. Okay, so let's look at that. All right. I think we're gonna have to color this in mostly by hand here, so let's do that. I don't think I sealed it hermetically, if you will. I do feel like this feels kind of flat, so I might try and do something to like make it less flat, which reminds me I need to do the actual nails as well. Do 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 do. This one actually looks like I could probably just do this. Alright, that's enough. That's enough. It's not working. At that point, I might as well just use this. Probably be faster. Okay. Actually, the claws do kind of seal up nicely, so we should be good on those. Okay. I feel like there's a lot I want to do, but there's like a lot I don't want to do because I don't think it's going to add much and it's a lot of work. Am I crazy? Do we bitch out? Okay. Not too shabby. I don't know if this really works. Oh, you know what? I should have put it like... I actually... Oh, no, this is in backlines. That's fine. It's fine in backlines. We're good. It's not a big deal. But I should move it down, I think. Because it's kind of more like side slash belly for her. Kind of... I don't know why I thought this was like a detail layer. Okay. Not too bad, right? Okay, I guess we'll just save that for now. We'll deselect. Okay. Let's go to shading. So we want to do some stuff actually about the tummy wummy here. How do we feel about the tummy wummy here? Feel like not great, right? I mean, she just kind of has normal shit here. I'm losing it. There we go. That might be better. Okay. Maybe take this. Neom. Neom. I don't know what I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know what to do about it though. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe that scaly look. I don't know. Let's go to base, I guess, real quick. I'm gonna see if we can maybe work with these arms. This is gonna be a pain in the ass. I'm gonna see if maybe we can like chop. No, hold up, hold up, hold up. Fuck. No, hold on. I need like that level of zoom. Okay, the rest of this actually doesn't matter too much. I just need that. So if I can do this, and then like, okay, undo that. Would that be in shade? It's not in shade. Shade deets, I guess. It's not in shade deets. It is in shade deets. I just can't seem to get it. What if I select, deselect, select, reselect, and then as this, there we go, there we go. Maybe shrink it just a smidgen. What do we think of this? Or no, should I move it in like this? I think that's it. Before I do that, let's just move this over there. We can pick that up pretty easily now. And we'll do the same thing for this. I just felt like it would be easier to grab this without this being super close to it. I think doing this is gonna make it so that we honestly don't have to redo the arms. I know I probably should because I don't think they look particularly good. So like I said, I should, but I think we'll just leave them for now. Okay, so select, deselect. I think it's fine. I don't know, it's not good, but it's like, it's fine. Okay, so let's start with shade deet so we can get the outline going. I should just be able to like hit him with it, right? And get that. Cut that. Yeah. What the fuck did I use for this? So goddamn theok. Okay, let's switch to, I think, base, right? Let's actually select that first. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. That's right, because that, okay, all right, hold on. There's a pretty easy fix to this, though. I should just be able to do that behind that, and that should solve it. Yep. So the reason that worked is because we already had stuff there, but like the technical line art for it wasn't really there, so that sentence made very little sense, and I'm sorry, but deal with it. God, that was the most lazy way to draw that, by the way. Which should mean I should be able to just do this. And that should let us do that. That's so much better. Like, yeah, the hands are kind of fucked up looking, but the overall, like, ratio feels better. Save it before I forget. No, thank you. Okay, let's go down to shading. I need to do these claws. Like, we've been putting these off for way too long. Let's look at her nails, I think is what we were using for this. Maybe not, because what the fuck? Okay. That should do. Okay. Do 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 do. I think maybe we just almost entirely darken this one. I think that'll have to do. Do 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 do. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I think was it last week I was talking about last weekend, talking about potentially watching Project Hail Mary. I did do it. Um, it was quite good. It's quite good. Usually, I'm not a big enjoyer of movies at like the peak of their hype. I feel like I end up being more critical of them. Definitely, definitely lives up to some of that hype. What I will say is, so I'm not gonna say Interstellar was like a bad movie or anything, but there's like a lot of things in Interstellar that just like completely annihilate the logic. I don't know what this like rubber foot is from, but they completely annihilate like the logic behind what they're doing, why they're doing it, and like the math behind things isn't real or correct in most of the cases, and like it just doesn't really make sense. But it's not like a terrible movie or anything. I did enjoy Interstellar. I'm just saying there's like a lot that just completely destroys the suspension of disbelief that you aim for in a movie. This also has that, but I don't feel like it's as noticeable, if that makes sense. God damn it, I hate that phrase. Sorry. What? Um so like the issues I have with it, um man, there's some like math stuff that doesn't really add up, but I think it can be explained away by the fact that it's a 2.5 hour long movie. Apparently, the original cut was longer, like 3 hours and 45 minutes, and they cut it down. So I think that some of the errors are actually not necessarily, well, there are math errors, but I don't think it's all math error. I think some of it's continuity error based off of poor editing. And that does suck, but it's a little more like forgivable if they did at some point probably address it. Um, I will also say that there's like a major flaw in like the whole point of the movie. Interstellar has it too, but like Interstellar's like flawed logic can't be fixed ever. You cannot overcome the flaws in the logic of Interstellar and have the story happen or make sense. Like you just have to suspend everything for it to matter. Project Hail Marys can be explained away if you address it. I don't really want to go into spoilers because it's a pretty new movie. We'll go into spoilers on Interstellar and think about it while we're talking about it. So, if you have not seen Interstellar, it's been out for like a decade now, hasn't it? When did Interstellar come out? There goes my phone. Let's look. Let's look. Let me just make sure it's like a. What is this? Get out of here. 2014, over a decade. If you haven't seen it, it's a decent movie. We're gonna get into spoilers, so mute it while we draw. We'll try and keep this under like a couple minutes here. Anyway, Interstellar, spoilers. The premise is the planet is dying, I believe. Uh, and it's just become unsustainable to live there. And so you are going to engage in interstellar travel to find a new livable planet instead of trying to fix the one you're at because it's just not fixable for some reason. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of plot holes with it. The biggest one being that all of these extremely smart people apparently can make a wormhole to another planet, but like aren't smart enough to realize what planets are worth going to. And so the first planet they visit is one by a black hole that is apparently affected by such heavy gravity that there is time dilation. No reasonable scientist, let alone apparently the smartest man in the world getting sent on this mission, would ever take the time to visit this planet because they would know even if the time it would take for that planet to be enveloped by the black hole is beyond human comprehension, or the potential for humans to exist, I guess, really, however you want to put it. It wouldn't make sense because just not being on the planet apparently gave them like a 7-year time difference per like 40 minutes or some shit. So every smart person in existence, or even dumbasses like me, would just instantly know you absolutely under no circumstance should even go to this planet. It's not worth checking out. Even if it could sustain human life, you'll basically, even if you could somehow manage to live on the planet, you'll be stuck on the planet for all eternity, right? Like you would be in a different time zone. Let's say there would be no more space exploration, right? You send people out on a space station, and 40 years will pass in just 1 year of time on planet, or whatever the fuck they said it was. It doesn't make any sense. There's no logic behind it. You would just rule that out. But for some reason, that's the first planet they go to, and they decide to land there not once for the original team, but twice. What are you doing? Like the whole story doesn't make sense. So now you'll lose like 40 years or whatever the fuck it is to that bullshit. And you're just like, well, why did they even go there the whole time? Like, these are supposed to be the smartest people in human history, and they decided to go to a planet that was never feasible in the first place. It doesn't make any sense, but you're supposed to just like believe that, and the entire plot line hinges on that. But like I said, anyone with any sort of like common sense would have just not gone. So for me, the entire premise of the story couldn't happen because it never would have happened. No scientist would have ever suggested reasonably that we ought to go and check out this planet whose time is dilated so heavily that you cannot effectively leave the planet without substantial time relative around it passing. No reasonable scientist would have ever allowed this. It doesn't make any sense. I feel like this is a little too dark. I'm going to see if I can lighten this just a smidgen. Might be too much. I would say that that's the biggest problem behind Interstellar for me. It makes no sense. Why did they visit that planet when they never should have, and therefore none of the rest of the story would happen? Doesn't make any sense. Does not make any sense whatsoever. Anyway. Now that that's out of the way, I guess major spoilers for a relatively new movie. It came out this year, Project Hail Mary. Honestly, not that major of spoilers. This happens pretty early on, but basically, there's something eating the sun, and Project Hail Mary is about sending out a space expedition to find out how to stop it, right? You know, it's a Hail Mary attempt because they just don't know how, and they can't. All right, that's not too spoilery. That's pretty early on. Right, that's basically the start of the movie. In finding out what it is that's apparently eating the sun, one of the very earliest scenes of experimentation is poking one of the things with a needle and killing it. it can die. Problem solved. The entirety of the expedition doesn't actually need to happen anymore. That's seriously it. You know you can kill it. It's killing your son and the planet will die soon. Just kill it. Now that to me could be explained away as opposed to like I said with Interstellar, you can't really explain away why anyone would ever go to a planet that's effectively the end of the road, right? It doesn't make any sense. All of them would have been able to do the math on why it would never work. But in this, you could make the argument that, okay, so they can be killed with just a fucking needle. What do we do? Like, shoot a needle out into space by them? I mean, realistically, you could probably nuke them if a needle works. You would think a nuke works, or just like throw a bunch of things out. But you could make the argument that, oh, well, polluting space like that would cause trouble for us, and potentially like debris and whatnot would come and kill us. But they could have just done a scene where maybe they tried it once and like it showed how ineffective it was because, once let's say you threw like effectively a shrapnel grenade filled with needles to pop them, you killed a bunch of them, but they're replicating faster than you can kill like that, and it's just not effective. Like they could have easily shown something like that. Um, there's also a very biological aspect to it that doesn't make sense, right? If it's a living being, why did nobody experiment whether or not they could like give it a virus, Independence Day style? But that could also have been explained away by like being, oh, nothing on Earth can kill it. So I can get that. I can get behind that. Right? So like that makes way more sense. There's also some time travel based stuff. Well, not there's no time travel based stuff. There's travel stuff based in time frames. That's how I should put it. Where the time frame absolutely makes no sense. Uh, whatsoever. This is where I think the cuts happened and whatnot. I do not believe they understand that they cut some things out that completely destroy the time frame of things. I don't think they realized this, but there's a bunch of stuff that they must have cut out because suddenly you lose a lot of time in that movie. It doesn't make any sense from certain perspectives. Um, but yeah, you lose like a lot of time at certain points. Uh, apparently they can travel beyond the speed of light based on the time frame. That's how I'll put it. Oh fuck. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So, a little strange. But yeah, they kind of messed up, I think, the math, or maybe just kind of forgot certain parts about it. Even if you wanted to say that they can travel faster than or as fast as the speed of light, they suddenly are just like missing several hours worth of like time travel effectively. It's not none of it's really time travel. I don't want it to sound like there's time travel in it. But like time spent traveling just apparently disappears. And like I said, originally it was allegedly supposed to be like a 3 hour 45 minute cut, but it's like down to 2.5 hours. So I think it just comes down to they cut some of the scenes that probably explained what happened, and there was already travel, and they just probably fucking forgot to like amend somewhere where it does explain that bro's already been traveling instead of you know losing 8 years of his time so that he must be going like twice the speed of light. Feel like these claws aren't coming out good. All right, we've talked about it long enough. End spoiler. Come on back. Come on back. If if you were come on back. If you were avoiding, come on back. You can go. You can come. You can come back. You can go. You can come back. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. No more spoilers. I just feel like I needed to say it. Things happened that made no sense. I still really like that movie. Some of those things could have been explained away though, so anyway, let's move on. All right. Where? Oh, is it all right? Okay. All right. Sure. Sure. Goddamn dig me removed, baby. Come on. Okay. So we have our Icarus series going on the gaming channel, right? And I'm not really sure what to keep doing with it. Like I'm just kind of working on the base and like upgrading things. I think I need to get like a ton of copper. I feel like it's long past outlived the fun of it though. Um I don't know. It's not that I don't enjoy playing it. Every time I play it, I enjoy it. It's more like when I haven't played it, right? Like before recording, I feel like I kind of just dread going to start playing it like the entire time. Because I'm just kind of like thinking, what am I even gonna do? Like I try to plan it out. So it's like when I went for the walks to like go get animals and obviously unlock the rest of the map that I hadn't unlocked yet. I had those plans to do those things. But like I've now technically unlocked all of the map. I haven't been really into the snow areas yet, so maybe we'll plan one final expedition out to there or something. Um, but like all I really have to do is keep up base maintenance. I like I'm not really any longer at some sort of risk of dying, I don't think, unless I just go out and get reckless. So I'm thinking we'll plan an Arctic expedition and maybe we'll use that to go out back to the desert and fight like the sandworm dudes, or at least one of them. And then maybe that'll just be the final episode. We'll do I'm not doing that episode yet, but we'll do some stuff around the house first just to see, maybe like try our best to maximize and upgrade some things. I obviously do still need to um what is it called? I still need to like upgrade a bunch of my stuff and make like the Arctic outfit. So what I'll maybe do is like work on that while working on the house. Because I think I need to unlock some of the stuff still too. And you know, once we have like maybe an Arctic and a desert outfit, we'll bring maybe like a stone thing to like put our horse in. Or you know, maybe we'll go out on the moa. That'll probably be pretty swift. And like make it like a little hunting expedition. Ended up not really doing any of the contact stuff, but that's because I remembered it's just like repeatable, boring ass missions that I just never really cared about. Okay. Let's maybe look at these arms. Okay. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the feathers on the elbow or not. I think it's something I could do, but thinking about it, I don't know if I really want to do it. I don't really feel like it's gonna vastly improve what I want. Maybe increase this just a smidgen so that we get like a nice even blend in some of the spots. Okay. Right. I feel like I need maybe like a slightly lighter color here. Is this lighter or is this just the same as the background basically, right? It is. This looks maybe lighter, which quite frankly doesn't make a whole lot of sense why that would be lighter, but whatever. Okay. Do 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 do. Right. Feel like the hand skin looks too smooth, right? Sorry. Sorry. Okay. And maybe kind of like do a little bit right here as well. I don't know why it's so much brighter right here, but it's going to be. Don't ask, don't tell. Do 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 do. Okay. Not too terrible, I guess. Still kind of wonky looking, but hey, we're doing our best, you know? Okay. Let me take like, it's a nice color. How close to this stuff is this? Yeah, that's fine. I think. I don't know where this random line came from, but we'll just add to it. It's lore now. Welcome to the lore whore. Why do I have that stuck in my head? Probably haven't played that in like over 10 years. I mean, I guess that song can be from more than just, I'm thinking of 3D World Runner, I believe. I don't think that's what this song is from. That's just what I associate it with. Okay. Might be a little too blue, huh? Okay. Do we have maybe like this color? No, that's too purpley. If we like go over just a little smidgen. Damn, that's just like the same fucking color I accidentally just selected. Okay, so let's increase the size of this. We're gonna try and blend it. And maybe do like another pass. And the goal here is to make it so that the next pass doesn't feel as like just kind of in there. Because this just kind of feels like suddenly, I don't know, it feels like a marker. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like it quite fits with the rest of the flow of it. Feels like someone took a highlighter to it and started drawing. I need it blent. Might do my old thing where I stand and yap for a second, but I already did a lot of yapping, so I don't know if I should. But for some reason, my fingies are kind of hurting. Okay. All right. Let's get the fingies a rest. Get some water. Okay. Wait, why is my fucking phone on playing fucking movie trailers? Get out of here, bro. Back in stock. Sicko watch. Thanks, Amazon app. You know what? I've noticed a lot of things that I used to have like on my watch list. Like oh my god, 427 bucks. No thanks. These used to be like 70 bucks. And I would put them on my watch list thinking like, oh, if it goes down to like 50, I'll buy one. But a lot of them ended up like selling out, and then like not coming back because of like tariffs and shit. And I've noticed a lot of them coming back now at much higher prices. And I'm just like, 5 years ago, this was like an old model, no longer produced. Like, what's going on here? And they were going on clearance, and I would like buy them for, like I said, like 50 bucks, and either keep it or maybe like resell it for like 70 something bucks and make like $5. And I would be getting them largely on sale to sell because they were way more on eBay. It's a lot of times I would like catch like Timex for like $5 a pop, and they're like $30 watches. Well, they're like $80 watches. They would go on sale for like 60, and then I would put them up for like 35. Now I don't see that. It's just not really an option. Plus, eBay takes so much fee that you can't sell like that. But for me, it was like a way to basically, if it was like a Timex, like I said, for like $5, I would buy three of them. I would sell two for about 30 bucks each. It was probably like a 60 plus dollar watch. So if somebody else is getting a decent price, eBay would take like their $4, $5. So now I'd be down to 25. It cost me like $8 to ship it, which is insane. Actually, it'd probably be closer to 5 back then. Now it would be 8. So I'd be down $10. So now I'm down to 20 bucks, and then the cost of the goods, so it would be 15 bucks. And so, right, if I sold one, that would give me back most of the price of three of them. And so that way, if something went wrong, somebody returns it, says there's something wrong with it, or steals it. Happens. It's happened before. eBay doesn't do anything, even though they're supposed to have buyer protection. I basically have another one for an exchange. If enough time passes, I sell that one. Now I'm up, or maybe I'm breaking even, and so now I'm left with a watch for me. And that's how I would like get my watches, basically. I would more or less get them for free. Or, if there was a problem, like I said, I would have one left over. I can exchange that for them. And then I would have like a broken version. And in most cases, what I've seen happen is people wear them for like 2 weeks and then they return it because they just don't like it. And so I have like a bunch of Timexes that are worn that I can't really resell because they're worth like 15 bucks, um, pre-owned, if that at this point. But actually, they might be worth more at this point. I should look into that. but they'd be worth like 15 bucks. I paid 5 bucks. Most of the time people lie, so I'd pay 5 bucks. I'd pay 5 bucks shipping there. I'd also have to pay the 5 bucks return shipping, and then eBay would keep the fee part of that stuff. So basically, I'd now be in the watch 15 bucks. If I were to sell it for 15 bucks, that's another 5 bucks to ship it again. Right, so now I'm in the negative. I might as well keep it or give it to someone, which I've done in the past, right? I've given my mom, some of the, I think recently, actually, I gave her one of the Timexes that was a return. And, like, what am I supposed to do? It's either lose money or lose money. I might as well make someone else happy. But it's just so hard to do business like that. I haven't really bought anything to be reselling at this point. It's been probably like almost a year since I've done it. And I want to be clear, it's not like what's happening with Pokemon cards, where like those people buy like hundreds. They'll buy out the machine. I guess they're in machines now. I didn't know that until I started seeing the scalping videos. But they'll like buy out the machine because there's no limit. Um, and then they'll resell them for much, much higher. So like instead of, I don't know, back in my day, Pokemon cards would be like $3.95, $4 a pack. So, but they'd be, I don't know what they are now, probably more than $4. But let's just say they paid $4. They would sell that pack for 400 bucks. You know what I mean? They're not making like a couple of bucks and still saving you money, right? They're not buying the Pokemon cards on sale and then like selling it to you at another sale, but or whatever. They're just straight up, scalping. They're buying it so that you can't buy it, so that you have to buy it from them. Whereas, what you can argue they're pretty close to the same, but I've felt that what I do or did was buy things that realistically, like in a lot of cases, I'd maybe go to like Nordstrom Rack or something. It's not really something someone could have bought. Let's say they're across the country from another country. It's not really something they could have bought to use themselves. Let's say it was a Tissot I paid like 150 bucks for, and then I resell it for 300 bucks. eBay takes 60 of that dollars, actually more than that. They take like 80 of that. Plus, insured shipping is probably like more than 50 bucks. I don't know, it depends. It depends on where it's going, I guess. It could be as low as like 15. But like somebody in Texas who ends up buying that never would have had that option, and they end up getting it for way cheaper as a result. Suddenly it doesn't seem so bad, because at the end of the day, that watch was originally like 700, 795 or whatever the hell they pretend it was. Is this over? I don't remember why I drew this like this. I don't know, man. Like, to me, that's a little different, but I can totally see how someone's like, well, at the end of the day, you were still making money off of like buying it. You could have let someone who saw the deal buy it. But like, I feel like as long as someone else is still getting a deal, I don't really feel so bad about it. It's more like extending the reach of the deal for a cost. Like another one would be, occasionally I'll buy things, and for example, something I had bought in the past came with socks. Socks didn't fit me. I gave the socks to my mother, but uh, right, come with shirts. Come with, let's say I bought a knife and it came with another knife, but it's not part of that knife. Like, it was a promotion from the shop. I didn't pay anything for those. Me getting that doesn't really deprive anyone of them getting it had they bought one. So it's kind of like, why wouldn't I sell it? I'm not going to use it. It's just going to sit there. Right? Having got it for free and then selling it for, let's say, 40 bucks And normally you'd have to pay, let's say, 90 bucks for it or something. I don't really see the problem there. They're paying less. I got it for free by buying something else, but like I still had to buy it, and they're still saving money. Maybe I've just convinced myself wrongly. I do generally. I think I have like 100% feedback, like positive feedback. I have had people leave negatives, but like they've been removed, I guess, because they didn't ever even talk to me about anything, or they were just straight lying, which apparently was provable, which is pretty nice, I guess, from that perspective. But like, it's nice that it got removed. But generally people are like, I think one of them would be like, actually, I might be able to find it. But it was something along the lines of limited edition knife board, less than anyone else in perfect condition, like nice or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, not bad, right? I was gonna look, but then I realized I got signed out of eBay, and I keep forgetting to sign back in, and I don't feel like signing in right now. That's how bad eBay and like the market is right now. By the way, I I didn't realize I was signed out. I think until this week. I don't even know how long I was signed out for. Um, Normally that would be a problem. Well, not normally. It's like 2 years ago that would have been a problem because I could have missed having sold something and then not shipped it, and somebody wouldn't have gotten their thing. But it doesn't really matter because I haven't sold anything in 2 months, and it's old stock, I guess, at this point. Do I try and get that like scaly, crunchy feeling that bro's got going on? I kind of want to, but I don't really feel like I can do it well. I'd be curious to know what people think about like do they feel there's even a difference? You know what I mean? Because I can see most people being like, well, you're still kind of scalping, so you're a reseller scum. But like I said, I go to Nordstrom Rack, and it's either better me because I'm going to keep it, or better me because whoever gets it is going to sell it for full price rather than still at a discount just to make like a little, right? So I don't know. Like, I get it, but also like I try to keep it fair, but also maybe somebody would have come in to buy it. Probably not. In my experience, people in like Nordstrom Rack, TJ Maxx are looking to resell stuff. Like, what they do is so there's like groups on like I guess they're on like Facebook and whatever the hell the other stuff is. And what they do is they meet up like a couple times a week, and they trade things. It's basically like I think a swap meet, but like they're mobile. They don't always meet in the same spots, and they don't really have stands, and they like know each other. So they'll swap things, and then they'll sell things. And a lot of times they'll like swap things, or just give things away, or take things, and they'll get them for free, and then they'll resell them for full price. I have family members who do stuff like that. I feel like that's kind of weird, where it's like somebody was. These are things I feel like they were originally um, designated for people who were in need, but they've like been co-opted. These are a little different. I don't go to these, but they were like originally effectively like part of food bank culture, if you will. Like they were part of the food banks, but like they broke off and like created their own groups. Probably because they were getting in trouble for selling it, but like they get stuff and then they resell it. You know, I feel like that's different and kind of fucked up because it's like those things somebody in need could have used. Like if you're gonna throw it away anyway, you might as well give it to someone or something. But like a lot of them just turn it around. It's also like a similar thing with like a garage sale. You know, a couple of times I would stop by like my neighbors. I don't know them neighbors, but like they're in the neighborhood neighbors. They'd have up like a garage sale sign or something, and it's like, well, I'm driving around the block for a second. I'll take a peek, and it's like here, oh, you have this beat up old watch. It doesn't run. You don't know if it runs. Okay, it's not gold, it's not right any valuable material, but it does have like we'll go with like Bulova or something. Like it's a decent brand. They still make watches. I would really only get their Lunar Pilot series at this point personally. But, a lot of their older stuff was pretty nice. Maybe it's overwound, maybe the battery's dead and it will work if you replace one depending on what kind of movement. Uh so like what would you want for it kind of thing, and yeah, they'd want $90 or something. It's like this is a garage sale, sir. Like you're supposed to want to get rid of it. It doesn't even work. I have no way of seeing if it works. Like, okay, maybe if it's all fixed up, it could, in theory, be worth $90. Maybe. But like, if if you thought it was worth that, if you did the research to find that out, why would you not have tested it? And like, I mean, bro, it's just gotta not work. Like, people don't understand the point of the garage sales to get rid of the item, not to make money. Do 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 do. Do do do. Maybe I'm the greedy one. I don't know. I do know. I want money. I like money. Money. Money, Mr. Krabs, money. Feel like something's wrong with the eye, but I don't really know what. Do you know what I mean? Fuck, I gotta stop saying things like that. Oh, brother. It doesn't feel like I did anything today. Like I'm looking at it and it doesn't feel like I accomplished what I wanted. What did I want? I don't know. I'm gonna just try something real quick. I feel like this looks... No, that's too blended. It doesn't look busy enough in the right way. It looks more like spines than it does feathers, and I don't like that. This looks like fucking seaweed to me right now. I don't like that. Okay. Let's clear this. Okay. Look at this real quick. We're just gonna do a quick little testicle. Let's take this color. So they had it start like right under. I don't like these, but I can see it. I can see the vision. Hmm. I don't know, man. I don't really want to cover this up as part of my problem here. Okay. Okay. Don't feel like this is giving the vibe I want. But I don't know how to get the vibe I want. Let's just move this over backlines real quick. Sucks we lose the tip of that thingy, but that's okay. I'm thinking we approach this like Ishtola's dress, but try to maintain that feathery disposition. So try and keep it a little sharp on the transitions if I can. I guess it'll also be the opposite. So, well, hold on. We can always erase this. This is just on DEET. There should be nothing else on DEET around here, so it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. Let's actually look at these real quick. Maybe take that color. See if we can't work it in there. All right. Okay. All right. We have one there. Let's take this one. I'm thinking dark line down to the center, kind of reaching out, and then we'll try and keep it maybe like one more color, and we'll alternate between the three. Try not to keep it patterned though. So now, how about another one? How does that feel? Might be too close to this. Very close, but I think it's different enough. It's a little more blue. The other one's more green. And we'll just do this now. I think the goal is going to be to like try and lighten these, try and give them some feather feeling structure. Hopefully it works out. Whether or not it does remains to be seen, but hopefully it does. You know, from afar, I feel like you probably can't tell the difference, but up close, you can really tell the difference, can't you? It's feeling a little blocky, a little too uniform. We do have some way to go still, so hopefully we can negate that, but it is feeling pretty uniform and blocky, and I'm not a big fan of that. This one's chopped. That reminds me, she's got a scar, doesn't she? Okay, I got to figure out how to draw that scar. What the fuck am I doing, bro? So fucking sloppy. Okay. Yeah, it does feel a little like there's no real flow to it, huh? Like they just kind of feel like they're hanging. What if I this is risky. Hold on. There we go. If I like try just a bit to like angle it. Think this is maybe doable. Actually, no. Let's switch back. Can we undo like yeah, there we go. Hold on. Now if we reselect no, okay. Alright, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Where's my thing? What if I don't know. I don't know what to do. I feel like this might be the play. With maybe like a smidge of that. I think that's gonna be good enough. Okay. So let's kind of like readjust for it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Alright, that's not so bad. It still kind of feels like it's just hanging, and I'm not a huge fan of that. But we're doing our best here with what we've got. Let's go ahead and take these broken wings and learn to fly again. Let's go and grab that and maybe try and hide that if we can. Okay, let's look into essentially blurring that so it's not so jarring. Alright, so let's maybe try and get some more blues in here. I think we'll have to come back in and do fine lines again. That's fine. Why is this one feather like so fucking big? Kind of goofy looking. I think maybe we come back through and hit it with this just to like help with the mix. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to come in and try and renegotiate, if you will. Renegotiate some form. Like, we have the flow in here now. We need the form, though. Do, 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 do. Form and flow, form and flow. Do, 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 do. I do have general guidelines here of where we want to go, so it shouldn't be too bad to recover from. I'm hoping. I do have some concerns about the termination point here. This. I was going to try and work it in originally with the arm, but thinking about it, I don't know how I can do this. Guess we'll see. Kind of just looks like it's coming out of it. Same problem with the tail feathers, really. Okay. So first one was this color, if I'm not mistaken. Which means we are... Nope, that I was mistaken. Man, that one looks terrible. Okay. Okay. Doesn't look right. You know what? Okay, hold on. We'll leave this for a second. And let's merge these. Okay. And now here's what I'm going to do. We're going to come back. And we're going to hit this one with that one. Right? And then we really shouldn't have the edge of this one visible. So that's the wrong color though. So that's fine. We want this one. So then this should start here and kind of come down to here. Alright, so that one's like that now. So now we want this one, I do believe. That way they kind of feel more feathered and like layered and less flat. So like you can't see the, you know, the stage right side, if you will, of this feather because it's under this feather. I hope that makes sense. But we're kind of like getting rid of the edge while still kind of maintaining some color and some edge. This one is going to be kind of messed up, so what if I just like kind of skip it anyway? Like what if that one's kind of almost in the background. It creates a variation and then like kind of messes with the flow, but like in a way that makes it feel less, hopefully less like blocky. Okay. This way we're kind of like breaking free of some of that like flatness. It does still feel pretty flat, but hopefully my stream crash. That's weird. My playback stopped on like everything. What is happening? Hmm. I don't know. It doesn't say I'm dropping frames, but I think I might be having internet problems. Um, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end stream. We're pretty deep in. It's about that time anyway. So let's go ahead and save. Sorry about that. I mean, it's about that time anyway. Um, we're not quite done here. I'm gonna maybe try and integrate this. We got to do this one. Maybe a little more detail on the legs. I feel like maybe some more detail mid-body. Try and maybe rework these. Maybe rework those. But I think we're pretty close to done. If I play my cards right, hopefully we'll be done by tomorrow. We'll see. But thank you so much for being here. Thanks for stopping by. Have a fantastic day, night, afternoon, whatever it is for you. I appreciate you. Hopefully this isn't a major internet issue. Seems like everything might be fixed now. But thanks for being here, and hopefully I catch you in the next one. Bye.